a comment in the chat box if you hear me and see me, so I know that I'm coming loud and clear. Let me know. Does everyone see me? So I can start. Oh, no one. The chat's unmuted. Okay. Does everyone see me? Just realized I had the chat's unmuted. Okay. Yes. Okay. Cool, Nicole. Thank you. I didn't want to be just talking to myself. How's everyone doing this evening? It's Thursday evening. I don't know if where you guys are from. Here from the East Coast, upstate New York, and it's reasonably and crazy warm up here. It was actually like 50 degrees when I woke up this morning. And here where I live, I think about a year ago, I actually got a memory on Facebook and I had about 2 feet of snow about a year ago. So it's this weather's getting really crazy. Maybe it's global warming. I'm not really sure, but there's something going on out there, that's for sure. So how's everyone doing this evening? Obviously, you got the chat box there. So if you want to, any questions that you have as I'm going over my notes, please put them in the chat box. Now, again, this is kind of like the reason why I'm using the sort of Google Hangout. This is kind of a little bit informal. This is more like just sort of reviewing my notes, going over some of the main tips that I got at the event. And eventually I might do something a little bit more formal. I actually got a couple of videos of recordings that I did of particularly Curtis Broom speaking and getting them transcribed. I was hoping to have them by the time I did this webinar now, but it didn't unfortunately get there in time. So so let me see here. I'm just trying to see how many people get. I know we had a few more people registered. I'm just trying to give a few people a chance to get into the room before I fully start. For those of you that are here, Kathleen, Melody, Nicole, do you guys have any particular questions at the moment? I know Melody was at the event. Kathleen, were you at the event? Nicole, were you at the event? Let me know if you was there. Okay, let's see. Just want to check the room, sure. Okay, so I got 9 attendees. Okay. No, okay. All right. In the chat box, please state where you're from. I like to know exactly where everybody's from. So if you're on the broadcast right now, just type in the chat box what area you're from. I'd like to know that. Obviously, I think I mentioned at the beginning, I am from New York. So that's where I'm from, upstate New York. Julie's in Virginia Beach. So you have Virginia Beach. What else? Glens Falls, New York, is where Melody is. Okay. Potsdam, New York. A lot of New York taking over. Albany, New York. Wow. It's a New York convention. Fort Lauderdale. Sunny Fort Lauderdale. Okay. Texas. Wacy, how you doing? So let me, I have my notes here in front of me because I want to make sure that I try to cover everything that I got at the event. And then, so basically what this, if you want to say training notes is going to be about, obviously Ray Higdon's event was called Speak Your Team Rich. And it was mainly to learn about speaking, going in front and speaking in front of people on stage, or doing a webinar like I'm doing now. But also to help speak to your team, help your team grow, or and exactly message that you should be bringing to your team if you're in the network marketing space or in the internet marketing space. Obviously, most of you don't know me, so let me go real quickly on my background. I've been involved in the internet marketing, network marketing space now for it's going close to 8 years now. And for the first, I'd say about 5 years, I was kind of out there totally on my own, having no clue to what I was doing, and probably doing every stupid mistake that I can think of, because I just didn't know, and you don't know what you don't know. But over the last 3 years, especially under the mentorship of Ray Higdon, I've been friends with him for about 5 years, but I really started truly follow him, and I'm one of his Diamond Mastermind clients. And under his tutelage, I've really began to change my business model, how I do things. So I'm mainly an internet marketer, but I do build a network marketing business. So this training, what I'm going to speak about here, most of the notes are going to be mainly geared to network marketing, but there are also things you can definitely use in the internet marketing space. So that definitely is something that you'll be able to use. So in the at the event, we had, I believe it was about 100 people there, and people from all types of people that have just started in the business. We've had a couple people. Robert Hollis was there. If you don't know, it's lifemechanic.com. If you don't know who he is, who's also a Diamond Mastermind client, and I think he's done about $46 million in network marketing business. Curtis Broom, who's part of one of the trainers, and he's I couldn't even probably think how much money he's made in this business, but he knows what he's talking about. And obviously some of you saw him speak that were at the event, but probably not at the VIP day. So again, basically just want to go over some notes. If you have any questions, put them in the chat boxes if I'm going over things. And again, I'm not going to be able to do 3 days of training in an hour or so. We'll be here like for the whole weekend. So I'm going to try to go over the highlighted points. Just try to go over what you guys, particular questions that you may have, and again, just to kind of review the notes that I want here. So, okay, so all right, so let me start off by just saying, what kind of the highlighted points here. If you see me looking to my side, I'm just looking on my iPad, which most of my notes are in there. So I just want to make sure I don't really miss anything. So, starting off with, as far as speaking or webinar or really going to events, I'm kind of like an event junkie. I go to a lot of events, and reason why I do that, because I think that's where you learn and you get the opportunity to connect with a lot of people. So one of the, and that's the only way, my goal is like Ray Higdon, I model a lot, so you're gonna hear me say his name a lot, is to provide value. That's my goal, to provide value to people. And the only way you can do that is by you educating, learning, and getting around people that you want to say they have what you want, or you're trying to get to a level that they're at. And you can only do that by surrounding yourself with those people. It's not going to happen by just reading books. Definitely nothing wrong with reading books. Is a good way to begin, but you really need to surround yourself around those people, so you know exactly, you can pick their brains, see exactly where they're coming from. So that's very key. And one of the models that Ray has, a big one, is called ILT, which is invest, learn, and teach. So you invest, when you do go to a training, like for those that came to the training, they invested their time, their money to get there. And then you learn, so they're there, they paid attention, they focused, took their notes, and now you go out there and you teach. So you try to push this knowledge over to, whether it be to your team, to someone else, whatever the case may be. That's what you try to do. So that's basically ILT, invest, learn, and teach. So, so that's basically what, one of the main things that the focus that were there. For those of you that maybe have a blog or you do videos, or one of the biggest thing is to, when you create content or you're trying to create videos, we tend to fall into this trap where I got to do a video, or I got to do this, or I got to do that, and we tend to push it maybe to the side. If you really want to get into that focus of constantly doing content and doing good contact where people are seeing value in it, start creating content like you're getting paid for it. So almost like a job. Like if you don't create content tomorrow or tonight, you're not getting a paycheck this week. And if you start doing it with that mindset, you will start doing content every day. And I myself started adhering to that because I actually tend to be one of those people that other things get in the way and I'll do it later, or I'll tend to procrastinate. But that's the mindset I've been now. So now I've been creating videos every day. I got my blog went fully live today, actually yesterday. So I'm ready. I already got 3 posts ready to put up there over the next few days. So basically creating content just like if I was getting paid for it. If I don't do the content, I'm not going to get a paycheck this week. One of the other big things is that to speak to people, one of the big keys, and I've learned this hard way, is why I felt like either people weren't listening to me or maybe I just wasn't getting that audience that I felt that I should have. And I think it's because technically you need to earn the right to speak to people. And what I mean by that is you have to have something to bring to the table, something to share with them. If you don't, then, why is anybody going to listen to you? You have to have something of value. Now, I'm doing this webinar right now. I'm speaking right now. Not everybody that's on here or people that while they watch the replay are going to get value out of this. Some people might drop off. You have to resonate with them. They may feel this is not important. They don't need to know this, and that's fine. It's whatever works for them. So you have to earn that right for them to hear you, and it mainly comes down to what value or what is it that you're bringing to them for them to know. So, one of the biggest things is, money comes from the people you provide value to. If you provide value to, they'll pay you. That's as simple as that. No one's going to pay you for something just for the sake of paying you. You have to bring something to the table, something that's going to you have to solve a problem that they have. If you have something, whether it be a product, whether it be a training, something that solves their problem, they will pay you whatever they think it's worth. And in most cases, they'll pay you different amounts of money because it's different value to everybody. So that's definitely coming up with a price on an offer. It all depends the value that you bring to it. If it solves a problem, they will pay. One of the things also, when you start doing webinars like I did, this one I set up, and what I've done in the past, and I've been guilty of that, is that if I set up a webinar and maybe only a couple of people registered and maybe there's one person showing up, I would sometimes cancel or try to reschedule it because I just felt that it wasn't worth my time for that one person. But, if that one person took the time to show up, to listen to what you have to say, then you should give them the same energy and the same output as if 1,000 people showed up. It should not matter. I still would be doing this recording right now if there was nobody on this broadcast right now. I still be doing it because that's what I said I was going to do, and I'm going to do it because maybe no one would have been on the broadcast, but maybe that one person that watched the replay, maybe this has some kind of impact and helps them in some kind of form or fashion. And that's basically what we're talking about here. I mean, Curtis Bloom, big message of the weekend was to have a servant heart. If you have a servant heart and your goal is out there to serve people, they're pretty much going to be there to work with you. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. So let's see. One of the things about if you're doing a presentation of your business or your product, what's very important is if you want to sound more professional and actually better at what you're doing, you really need to know your product. And what I mean by know your product, I don't mean if you're selling a shake or you're selling wine or you're selling travel, whatever, that you need to know exactly the in and outs of how the company works and who the owner is and how often he brushes his teeth. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is that you know your product, you know exactly what it does, its purpose, how it can help them. Because if you know that, then it just comes out. It's second nature. You're not, when you have to think about it, that really means you don't really know your product. When you have to think about what you're saying, you really don't know your product. So make sure that you know at least what your product does, what its purpose is. And that's definitely going to help you, with what you're, when you start speaking to people, especially when you're trying to present. Be a master at telling stories, especially your story. You need to create your story, and your story usually starts with a story of success, whether it be your first sale, especially if you have a new person on your team. And I'm going to get into the Curtis Bloom training in a little bit, which kind of talks a lot about starting people off in your new team and some of the points that he brought out. So I'll say that a little bit for there. But you got to have your story. We all have a story, how we got to where we at right now. And that story is something you should tell. What was your background? I know some of you heard me speak a little bit on my story. So you need to just focus on what your story is and put that story together and make sure that that's what you should be, in many cases, leading with. And it doesn't matter if it's a stop story. You're just going to have to word it differently, but you should be leading with your story. Let's see. I just want to go before I go. I think one of the big keys that I learned here, and this might have been Robert Hollis I said this, or it might have even been Ray, I'm not sure, but is be a human being. You know, don't try to be like a robot. Don't try to be so methodical. Like, be a human being. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to fumble over your words. People will see a real you and they'll realize that they're dealing with a real human being, not with somebody that's been trained to be a salesperson. You know, no one likes salespeople. I don't to this day. I just don't. You know, if I see a real, true salesy person, I don't like that. I like to be sold and not know that I was being sold to, because when somebody does that, that's because they were acting like a human being. That's pretty much why they were able to do that. They touched an emotion. They were able to do an emotional sell, maybe brought up something that I knew that was affect me, and that's why I was able to buy the product or the service or whatever it may be. So again, try to be like a human being. So quick, while I go on to the next, I got just a quick question. What business are you in? And I don't mean the name of the company. I'm more asking, like, just put down if you're like in health and wellness or service-based. I'll make it simpler for you. Are you product-based or service-based? It's kind of what I want to know. So is it you actually have a product or a service to offer as part of your business? I just want to cater the next topic that I'm going to go over with, where Curtis talked about, that I think could gear more to. Obviously, mine is service based. I know a lot of you are friends of Melody or Nicole, so product based. So okay, okay. So, so one of the big keys that Curtis did on Sunday was that what was very interesting was that he talked about, he kind of did a chart layout on as he was speaking. So that's kind of hard. I can't necessarily duplicate what he did there. And again, I was getting that transcribed. So I was hoping I would have had it before this training, but I didn't get it in time. So I'm probably going to send that out to whoever was on the webinar in a little more details with that. But the gist of, if you have a product-based business, a couple of things. Number one, when a lot of us have been trained, I know I've been trained like this in the business in the past, is that when you get a new person on your team, the first thing we go to them is we do the old story of, all right, if you were stuck on the road at 3 a.m. in the morning, who would you call? Right, and that would show up. That's kind of the first thing that they do. So he kind of went with that same story, but a little bit different. So what he asked was, kind of flipped it a little bit around. He said, okay, bring out your phone book, this is to a new person, and go to them and say, who here would you go help out if they called you at 3 o'clock in the morning? So you get a list of those people. Now, the interesting part, when he started going with this thing here, he's saying, for your brand new people that has never done network marketing before, these are not the people they should go after first. Now, to me, that's interesting, because that's not what I've heard. I've always heard those are the people you go after first. Those are not it. The ones that you go after first is your family, friends, your closest to you. And the manner you do it, for those of you that are product-based, is very simple. You call them up and you go, uncle, aunt, whoever it is, maybe a brother, whatever it is, and say, look, my brother's name is Frank, so I'm just use his name. Frank, I just started this business, and it's I've got this awesome product that I want you to try. I'm just trying to get, a list of consumers to try it out so I can make sure that it's a good product. So just want you to, let me know if you're interested in trying it out. And then if you do like it, I'll get you a preferred pricing on it. So I just want to know if you're interested in becoming one of my first customers. Simple as that. No pitch. No, you're just trying to get them to see what it is or try it. Again, if you're product based, it's easier because you can give them something to try for 30 days, a week, whatever it is that how your product works. So that's basically all you're doing is you're just talking to these people, which are mainly your warm market, and that's all you want them to do. That is it. Not pitch them the business. Not you just want to show them what it is that you have and see if they're interested in becoming the product. The analogy that he used was to go back to that is if you were starting a restaurant for the first time and you just opened up a restaurant, basically the majority of the people that would be in that restaurant is your friends and family, right? You're going to call them up. You're going to tell them, look, I just started this restaurant. Come down, check it out. And they'll still pay for the food, but you might give them a little discount, but pay it. And why are you doing that? You're doing that because you want other people that are walking by to look at that restaurant and say, wow, that restaurant's crowded. That's got to be a great restaurant. Let's go in there and check it out. So in many ways, it's the same concept. These other guys are going to be able to talk about your product, especially if you know you have a good product. So you make sure, so it's a very simple, logical way of doing it, not overcomplicating it. Now, I'm not Curtis Broom, so I'm not saying it necessarily word for word like he said it, but that's the gist of what he was referring to. And that's the way you can do your business. One of the other big keys that he did, again, that I was never trained on properly is the goal of your new people is simply to get names, get them on the phone, or get them in front of you. They should not be answering any questions. That's what the team is for. That's what the leaders in the team are for, is to answer those questions and to make sure that they know exactly what's going on. So it's not their job to answer questions because that's where they usually fail because they just don't know. They just don't know what they don't know yet. They just got involved. They just got the product. It's probably the first time they used it, so they don't know. So most questions should be directed to you. If you're the leader of the team, whoever may be in the team or whoever you have in the team designated to that should be the person that should be answering the questions. So their simple job is to get people in front of you. And then as they see what you're doing, over time, they'll learn and then they become, because our ultimate goal here is to develop leaders. We're in the leadership business. Starts with you first and then your team. So that's basically what your goal is with new people. That's how you simplify it. And if you can do that with people, then they can easily earn a six-figure income because it's a duplication thing. That's all they do when they get people in. And I see it now. I see it now in my team. I said people come in and they just think that they need to be Ray Higdon. That's not going to happen overnight. You're not going to be like that. So all your job is to get names and get them in front of me because I'm more familiar with my product. And then I'll talk to them and answer all the questions that they have. So, I mean, does that sound like I'm simplifying it too much, or do you guys think that does that make sense to you? Let me know. Or if you have any questions at this point. I guess we got a lot of things to cover, but just trying to see what so. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Like I said, I wish I would have gotten the video transcribed. So trying to just think some other things that he said also. One of the things that Robert Hollis also said that if you have a company presentation, a video on your business, you should not really be using that for your business. In other words, let me correct that. That should not be the first video they see, I guess is the word that he was trying to use. You should be offering, sorry about that. You should be offering, they should be seeing videos of how you can help them or how you can help them. Maybe there's whatever goal they're looking for, what they're trying to do, whether it be make extra money, freedom, lifestyle. You should have videos that talk about that first, and then you show them. Then when you connect with them in that manner, then you would talk about, they will see your presentation if you have a video presentation, or they speak to you on the phone if you're going to talk to them about your product. So that's basically how the first videos that they should be seeing is about you, about how you can help them, how your system, your business, whatever it is, can help them versus exactly what it is. As I mentioned and I think I've spoken to Nicole and Melody, is that People join because of you. They're going to join the business because they made a connection with you. They'll stick around if the product is what it's said to be, but they ultimately will stick with you. So that's basically the thing that you have to, always keep that in mind. So it's not your product. They didn't join because of your product as much as you think it is. That's not why they joined. They joined because they made a connection with you or one of the leaders or the team. Somewhere along the line, they just thought that this is a fit for them, and they think that this will probably work for them. But what happens when you get a new person in, hope comes into play. And this is what they start hoping. They start hoping that it's not a scam. They start hoping that it's real. They start hoping that they're not going to lose their money. They're hoping that they're not wasting their time. So that's where you have to come into play. And you got to move them from hope to certainty and confidence that this is going to work and this is the real thing. So, and that's where your job comes into play as being a leader, and where the leadership comes, because that's how you convert them into a leader. So that's pretty much the gist on how that works there. But let me know if I'm going. I talk really fast, so if I'm going a little too fast, let me know. And again, I know this is not well structured. Again, it's very hard to do structured notes of this manner because a lot of this is kind of like him talking and speaking on how we should do things. What I'm going to do, again, for those of you that are here, I'm going to try to figure out how to do it. I can probably show you guys the videos that he did, but I have to do it in a protected manner. I can't have these videos be downloaded or taken, or it just wouldn't be fair to him. I will try to upload them somewhere where they can be viewed, and I'll let you hear, because obviously he'll be able to do a lot more better than I did. But I just wanted to give you the gist of of what he talked about. He spoke for about 30 minutes straight on his presentation that he did, and a lot of major points. And again, I was just hoping to get it transcribed, and I'm just going to make sure that I didn't get that already, because it just went out. Because if it did, I'll be able to. No, don't say that. Okay. All right. So, okay. Any questions you guys have so far on anything that I've gone over about anything? Doesn't have to be there. Any questions you guys want to pick my brains on something else while I'm just reviewing my notes? See anything else that I want to go over? Type it in the chat, please. I don't see anything. Okay. One of the key things that I thought that a good point that also came up is, if you speak to a prospect that's been in a network marketing business already, whether they were successful or not, good key question that you can ask those prospects is, like, why did they buy or join that other company? Because if you hear anything that's probably, if you want to say like on the negative side, then that's pretty much maybe the same reason why they won't join, or the same success they'll have in your company. So you want to always find out what is it that they, why did they join that company, and why did they leave that company? If they, especially, again, that's an easy prospect to talk to in my perspective, because they've done it, and you already know, are you dealing with someone that just doesn't realize this is not going to work, or maybe it's not for them. So definitely make sure that, if you know someone's been in there, you want to definitely ask them those questions. The other big key thing is that no matter what business you are in the marketing business. That's what you guys got to instill that in your head. You are in the marketing business. This is where I go back to what I'm saying. It doesn't really necessarily, it's not your product that they get joining, it's your marketing, and because of you that they're joining your business. So you need to stay focused, and again, that has to be drilled into your head. And quick question: who's the best person to sell to? Who's the easiest person to sell to? Anybody have that answer? Should we prospect? Let me ask. Melody, you said, should we prospect everyone? You should speak to everybody. I don't necessarily say prospect everybody. I speak to everybody, because as you have conversations with people, is that they may open the door to get prospected. So that's what I would do. So I wouldn't say no to, to anybody, but you have to be on that, based on that conversation is where you should decide whether you should prospect them or not. I mean, if I met you, I'm just your example, man. If I met you for the first time tonight and your attitude is like down the toilet, why would I prospect you? Why would I want you on my team or even want you as a customer? So you can maybe badmouth my, so I wouldn't say no and I wouldn't say yes. You have to see what the conversation you initially having with that person. And based on that is where I would determine whether you will prospect them or not. So that's my take on that. Yeah. Exactly. Definitely don't prejudge. Don't judge a book cover. But once you have that initial conversation with them, that'll let you know whether you should. Again, you should decide who you remember. A big key I learned from a previous mentor is that you're interviewing that person for your business, not the other way around. Okay. So many people go out there and they feel like you're letting the prospect interview you, like to decide whether you should they should join you. No, it's the other way around. You interview them as to, do you want them on your team? Do you want them to take the time that it takes to train somebody? Your decision. So always flip it around. You're the one that's going to decide whether that person should get into your team or not them. Many of us struggle with prospecting. I hear so many people say they do not know where or how to find people. Facebook. There's almost over 2 billion, almost close to 2 billion people on Facebook. Plenty of people on Facebook. That's the goodness. First starting point, I would say, is on Facebook. Online, Twitter. If you don't know people, again, this is if you don't have people, meetup groups, you could start going to meetup groups and start doing some networking there. There's a lot of places where you can meet people besides what's in your circle or right around you. One of the biggest things on Facebook that I would suggest, number one, is a lot of people do this. If you are trying to, especially if you're trying to reconnect with people, let's say you see somebody on Facebook, let's say we were friends and we have not spoken in a year or two, and you see me on Facebook and you say hello, don't pitch me as soon as you say hello. Just rebuild that relationship first. Hey, how's everything going there? What's going on in the world? Oh, everything's good. But now, if I open the door, that's fine. If I ask you, what are you working on? I see that you're in this business. What's that about? That's a different story. I've opened that door. But if I don't open that door, don't just pitch me on the first time you say hello again. See, it's different with a stranger. It's different if you went out at the gas station and you talk to you bump into somebody there and you want to pitch them. You don't know them. That's fine. But when you're trying to reconnect with old friends or old family members, rebuild that relationship with them first. Rebuild that before you go out and just pitch them. After you speak to them a couple of times, then you might say, hey, I just want to find out what's going on in your world. And, they may open that door with you. They're having some issues, maybe some financial problem. Maybe you realize, what, this is a good fit. This is where I got something here that might be able to help you. So don't be pitchy. Don't be a sales. Your Facebook page should not look like a sales page. Okay. It should not look like a billboard. If it looks like a billboard, you are doing it wrong. Okay. Terry Gromo, who's also a Diamond Mastermind client, he spoke up about Facebook on Sunday. And one of the key things that he said is that if people know what you're doing or what business you're in by looking at your Facebook page, you're doing it wrong. Because if I can go to your Facebook page and I can see the name of the company, whoever you're with, guess what I have to do? I can just Google it. And you know what Google does. Google gives everybody the most negative and stuff like that. So I won't even need to talk to you because I already did my research. So I shouldn't know through Facebook. I may have an idea. That you're trying to do this, but if I see, and I'm not talking about your fan page, I'm talking about your Facebook page. If on your regular Facebook profile page, your personal profile, if I can tell what business you're in, there's really no need for me to talk to you because I'll just research it and maybe I'll find somebody else that's in the business. It happens a lot. I spoke to somebody after the event that wants to join my company, and he was shopping around to see who he wants to join. There are people doing that. So if they see, I've heard of that company, but I have no idea who Melody is. They should, they're just going to look. Yes, so it should be separate. It's definitely your fan page. That's all business. There you can put all you want. You can talk about your product and how great it is. Your personal profile page should not have, not saying you don't mention it. If there's something that you can, and if you do, it should be shared from your fan page, so not directly on your personal page. So you post about your business on your fan page, and then you can share it on your personal page if you want. And again, be careful how often and how you do that. Don't just share everything, because again, you're going to look like a billboard, and you don't want to do that. And because people are just going to think that that's all you're going to talk to them about. And I'm telling you this from experience, because I've done it. That's why I know. And I'm still trying to recover my personal fan page. Interaction is not very high, because I've already burnt a lot of people where they just thought that's what I was. I mean, if I was promoting an affiliate product, boom, it went up there. So I just looked like a billboard. And then I was all over the place, because I do a lot of affiliate products. People didn't realize it was an affiliate product, so they actually thought I was jumping to a new business every other week. They didn't get that it was a different affiliate product that people were coming out with. So I don't do that anymore. So you have to really be careful, protective of your fan page. One of the suggestions that I do on your personal page is where it says work. You know, you can put on your where you work, what company, whoever. Don't put what you work. Don't put, if you're serious about your network marketing company, then don't put that's where you work. Point it to your fan page, because people always like to see where people work at. So when they go to your personal and they click on that, that should point to your fan page. So it should go that just your fan page, that's where you work. So now as soon as they click on that, now they see your fan page and they see what business you're in. So you definitely should do it that way. Right? Any other questions? Those are very, very good questions while I'm reviewing my notes here. For those of you that are in the, and not any of us, even if we're in the service business, where consumer-based marketing is buy and try, right? They try your product. I'm pretty sure for those of you that have products, most of the product bases have a 30-day money-back guarantee. The majority of them do. So it's all buy and try. They're buying something, they're going to try it, and then they're going to either like it and continue or they're not. So that's basically, so Sarah is too pushy. No, basically, Sarah, the way you go around that is basically you can, if you realize you've been doing what I said, maybe putting too much business on your personal, you go to your personal page right now. Once you build your business page, if you don't have one and you're doing, say, guys, I just want to let you guys know that I might have been putting a little bit too much over here on my business, so I'm keeping this separate. So if you're interested in keeping abreast of what's going on in my business or what I got to offer, I would appreciate it if you like my business page. That way I'll keep it separate, and then you won't get hit. So if you want to know about my business, you'll see those messages. If you don't, you won't. So you just ask them like it. So it's not being pushy. You're just directing them to your store. Your business page is your storefront. So you're just telling them to go there. Right? If you own, again, keep thinking as your business as if it was a brick and mortar business. If you had a brick and mortar business and you had a hardware store, if I had a hardware store and I'm home now, I'm not expecting somebody to knock on my door asking me to buy a hammer. That's when I'm in the hardware store. So it's kind of the same logic. If you want to show them as your business page, that's your storefront. So when you want to talk to me about business, see what I got, you go to my business page. Here, it's my personal way. I'm going to talk to you about what's going on in my world, my little funny jokes, whatever, your lifestyle stuff. Now you definitely put, let's go back to your personal page. I want to make sure we do a good distinction and I don't confuse people. When I say everything should go on your business page, I mean when you're basically talking about your product, your business, what's going on in your business. But if you have lifestyle, in other words, let's say you want a trip on you because of your business, because you reach a certain rank or whatever, maybe definitely put that on your personal page, because that's a lifestyle thing. I show, look, I'm on this cruise. Thanks to my company, I won this cruise, beautiful cruise with 100 people, and here's look at the suite that I got. See, that's fine. That's lifestyle, because you want to sell people on lifestyle, so the people may come to you and say, how did you get that? And then you can direct it to your business page, or you have a separate conversation with them. So again, doesn't mean you put nothing on your personal page. Just should be no links on your personal page as far as links to your product. Like obviously on my personal page, you saw that I did a quick picture and I posted about this webinar, but I'm not charging anybody for this. This is not a business thing. This is more of me just providing value out there to people. And yeah, I may tell people to go to my blog after this or that, but that's just to provide more value. I'm not selling anybody anything. So you want to avoid putting links on your fan page where you're actually selling something, especially business wise, in your business. So you want to keep that separate as much as possible. So that's really what I'm referring to. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah, you can, I've done that. What I've done in the past, I've gone, and if I see I have a little bit too much that's been recent melody, I'll go and delete them. But at this point, just moving forward, just try not to do it no more at this point, and just because you can go back and try to delete the 50 that you did. If let's just picking a number, it's not going to make that much of a difference at this point. But just stop doing it as much as possible. Don't put that on there. Your cover page on your personal should not have your company name on there, or should not say anything about what you do. It just be a picture, maybe you and your family, or just, it shouldn't be up there. You can probably put a picture that relates to something like your product has. If it's I don't know, if it's, let's assume you do skincare, then you put maybe a picture of people looking nice and young and stuff. But don't, your personal, again, back to your personal, should not have anything to do on your page. That should be, first of all, just so you know, a matter of speaking, Facebook can close down your personal profile if they see that that's all you're doing. It's against their terms and agreements. They rarely do it, but they can. So you almost literally have to be careful just so Facebook doesn't crack down on you. That's why they created fan pages. That's why on a fan page, they will never yell at you for what you put on a fan page, as long as it's not pornographic or whatever. But you can say anything you want. You can put 1,000 links on your fan page, sell whatever you want on your fan page, and they will never yell at you. That's what the fan page is for. It's a business page. But when it comes to your personal page, that's simply just to have conversation, just to connect with people. That's all that is. So you definitely, again, if you want to look at it now and say, wow, the last 4 weeks, all I did was put links in there, I would delete those, just to start separating them. Okay, going back to some of the okay, so Nicole put, can you talk a little bit about leadership? How do you suggest we motivate and lead the team to be motivated toward the biz? Okay. All right, so guys know the whole saying, you can walk a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it. And that's even worse for people. So you can't not motivate a rock, right? That person has to be breathing and leading to them. But the way I would say to do it, the way to motivate people is, if you didn't do it when you first prospect them because maybe you just didn't know to do it, is what is their story? Why did they join the business? Go back and interview your team members. If you didn't do this, go find out why did they join? So you can make sure are they on their path to why they joined. And then and maybe see that, and then, once you do that, then you'll find out how you can help them to do that. And you go back to if it's money, if it's lifestyle, whatever, then you go back to the business, and that's how you're able to help them to build. They'll build a business, because if you find out where they're trying to get and you help them get there by using your business, then guess what? The business is going to build itself. So again, it all goes back to leadership. So it's really, it's as simple as that. So but find out why are they here? Why are they still here? Why did they first join? And take it from there. That's kind of be the easiest way that I can say to motivate and to lead them, and lead by example. Do not do something that you don't want them doing. You got to lead by example. They see you working, they're going to work. They see you rank up, they're going to want to rank it. It's by nature. Most people just going to see that. They're just going to, they just want to follow. Most people want to follow leaders, and ultimately you want to build those own leaders on your own. So that's basically how I would, how leadership, that's how it works for me. Sometimes you have to revisit these things, with people. You have to just find out, why did they join? And how do they feel that this was what they expected to do? And number two is, make sure you work with the people that deserve your time. Okay, if you have someone that doesn't want to call nobody, talk to nobody, then that person doesn't deserve your time. But the person that's out there cranking, it doesn't matter if they're recruiting, but the person you know that's working, that's out there prospecting, making phone calls, talking to people, doing what needs to get done, that's the person that deserves your time. And that'll also motivate your team. The team will not get motivated if you have a top guy over here that you're not giving no attention to, and you're working with a dud at the bottom. If you do that, that will demotivate your team, because then you have top leaders that say, you know what, I'm going somewhere else because I'm working my butt off here, and Nicole's not even giving me the time of day. So you have to make sure that you giving the time to those that are producing and working in your business, and mainly working the business. The production should come along with that. Does that, Nicole, let me know if that was okay, or were you looking for something different than that? There's two types of way that you can approach customer or prospect. And there's two ways of speaking. There's selling, which is presenting. When you're doing like your presentation or whatever, you're selling. When you're trying to serve people is when you're conversating with people. It's when you're having a conversation with people. You need to become a master at asking questions and a master at listening. That is a big key. Listening. That's one of my hardest things that I had a hard time to overcome. I'm a fast talker. I used to jump into people's conversations. I wouldn't let you finish. I wasn't good at listening. And you need to listen, because the people will tell you what they want to hear. You're just going to answer their questions. If you let them do the talking, you're just going to answer their questions. And in most cases, you'll get them in the business because of that. So, and be a master at telling stories. Make sure this is another big key, Nicole, going to your question. Make sure you know what the people in your team right now. Make sure you know what business they're in right now, what their normal 9-to-5 job is, if they have one, or what they did in the past. And this is very key, because a lot of times when you talk to somebody or prospect, you might find out they're a realtor, or maybe they're a teacher, or whatever it is. So if you have somebody in your team that's doing well, or just started and they're in the same role, it's always great to connect those two people, because they kind of have that same mindset. So you go, that's a good thing. Nicole, you're a teacher. You know what? I got 2 teachers in my team that are just killing this. So number one is you just eliminated the potential, I don't know if I have enough time. Because they're saying, wait a minute, if you got 2 teachers that are doing this and I'm a teacher, then obviously I should be able to find the time. So you've eliminated that question right there, the potential objection of I don't have time. So definitely know your team, know what they do. We do a lot in our group and our team, because a lot of times people, you're a realtor, they're a pilot, they're this, whatever it is, and that's what we use. Because we do, and we're not just saying it to say it, because we have those people in the team. So even if they're not directly in my team, in our team group on Facebook, and this is another suggestion. If you guys don't have one, make sure you have a Facebook group for your team. Have one in there so everybody's in touch. Everybody knows what's going on. When a new person joins the team, make sure you just putting it on the wall there and congratulating them, and that they just joined. They just joined your team, so everybody can say hello. So it makes them feel welcome right away. Especially if you have been recruiting somebody that maybe is out of state and not nearly right there in the neighborhood. So you definitely want to create a Facebook group for your team. We have one. Ours is called Team Start Living. So and that's what we do there. We talk about people when they rank. We put the signs, promote them with their rank. Now, one thing that I'm gonna start trying to do too, that when somebody joins your business, with their permission, just join. She's ready to rock this out. Because guess what's going to happen when you do that? All Melody's friends are going to say, Melody, what are you doing? They're going to come right to you and they're going to know what is this all about? They want to know. People curious. They want to know what is the Melody's doing now. So they're going to go to you, and right there you could just get prospects coming to you without you even having to ask them. So I've seen that test out with different companies, and it seems to work. So it's definitely an idea that I'm gonna start going back to. I have not done that in a while, but I'm going back to do that. Again, you need to use the prospect's permission, because maybe they don't want it on their wall. But if they do, Again, a simple, nice picture of theirs that they have that you grab from Facebook that they already have, or their profile picture, and just say congrats to so and so for taking, for taking a whatever you want to call it, for wanting to live their dreams, get their dreams going, whatever, you decide how to word it with that person. But that's really a great way of, again, getting automatic prospects without them even doing anything, And again, and what's the first thing you do if they go to them? They should be directing them to you. They should not be answering the questions. If they say, yeah, if you want to find out about what I'm doing, let me hook you up with Nicole. Let me hear one more time. Can we talk? I'll get Nicole on the phone and she can show you exactly what she showed me. And I'm pretty sure you're going to love it like I did. Don't want them to become, they just joined. They don't even know anything yet. For them to be explaining anything to anybody else, it just doesn't work. So you want to make sure that they're bringing the people to you until they learn what they're doing. Then they can start doing the talking about the business itself. Let's see. One of the biggest lines that I like is using the word imagine if, especially with prospects. Imagine if, and that blank can be from the conversation you have with them. So if someone says, oh, I want to travel, it's my goal, I just want to travel the world. Or imagine if you were in front of the Colosseum in Rome, Italy right now. Imagine if you were in Bora Bora. So you start, because you get people's brain opening up. You start making them think about it and say, wow, yeah, I love to do that. How can I do that? And then your job is to show them, this is what I have that can help you get there. Yeah. So that's basically how, so there's a very two big keywords. And that's part of when you're talking, when you're bringing up your story and then trying to add, their story into it. So you can take their story and add it to it. So, I just have to do a lot with the presentation. All right, I think I pretty much got the gist of it. Again, Curtis Broom stuff, there's a lot more there to speak about. And hopefully I'll get that. And, if I have to do, once I get the notes, if I have to do another one of these to go over it again, I will have no issue doing that. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Let me just see if sometimes stuff goes into my spam folder. So let's see if I've not got any yet. So, but again, I'm going to try to put the videos up somewhere and, get you guys and you'll get, I'll probably put the replay here. I'm not sure how many people actually made it onto the webinar. I think we got about 10 people out of 36, and that's not bad. That's about a 38%. That's 28%. And usually, just so you guys know that don't do webinars, if you go to, if you get around over 20% on your show up of your webinar, that's pretty good. That's actually, you're doing pretty good. Sarah, I have someone in my business, but doesn't seem like she's much of a hurry. How do I encourage her to sign her up? Don't, Sarah, don't encourage her. She'll sign up when she's ready. You just stay in touch, follow up with her, but don't push her. You're going to regret it if you push her, because no one's going to work at it if they're not ready. They're ready when they're ready, and avoid you from looking. That's fine. I get that she approached you, but if she's not ready, she's not ready. You just let her know, look, you let me know when you're ready. Look, if you look needy, people don't want to come to you. When you push them away, they come to you because they're going to push it away. So you say, whatever her name is, or person's name is, Bob, I know you talked that you were interested in signing up. Whenever you're ready, I'm here. I got to go work with Julie, Melody, and Nicole, who are ready to rock this. So just, whenever you're ready, just let me know. That's one way to do it. The other way you can also do it, again, depends on how well you know the prospect. You can also do this. Let's say you speak to me and you speak to Melody and we're ready to join. You take our application, right? So you take our application information, you have them from it. You go back to that prospect. Now, maybe a few days later, whatever, and you say, Bob, I know you mentioned to me that you were wanting to join, but I didn't think you were ready at the time yet, but I just want to let you know. I just spoke to David and I spoke to Melody. Dave's a realtor that's got like tons of connections. Melody's another, works in the home business. And she's a financial planner and got tons of connections. They're ready to get into this business and they're ready to rock it. But since I talked to you first, I want you, if you're ready to join now, so that way these two will be under you. So let me know if that's what you're ready to do. If you are, we'll get you in. And I guarantee you, if they're sort of ready to go, in most cases, they will join at that point. So that's another approach that you can take. But don't push them. Give them a reason to sign. Not just because they said yes, because maybe they're not ready. And again, if they join not being ready, they're just going to quit or they're just going to be a real pain in the ass, to be very honest with you. So I'm going to be totally honest with you. I love my brother to death. Love him to death. I don't want him in my business because he's a pain in the ass. He's just a pain in the ass. So it doesn't matter who it is. It's you need to have people that's going to not suck the life out of you and suck the time out of you. And if they're really, especially if they're really close friends or family, it's always hard to say no to them. And, so sometimes I just rather not, so not that I don't have friends and family, but there's certain ones that I just rather not. I just don't want them to join, so I show them to him. He see my presentation. I try to get him to as a customer. He joined. He quit about 3 weeks later. I mean, and I knew that was going to happen. I just was giving it another shot. So did that, Sarah, was that helpful? That answer? For you guys. Guys, make sure you go to my blog, davidariaga.com. Stay in touch there. I'm always doing trainings, so just a good way to get on my list. Stay in touch. You guys are sort of on my list when you register for this webinar. I'll be doing trainings on how to do webinars like this. If you guys want that, let me know what you guys like to. You guys should be on my. Here's my. For those of you, I'm not sure if you're not on my fan page, and it's. I can't type to it. Is my actually I should have done the homes. And you also will find my personal page there if we're not connected on Facebook. Make sure you're there. So again, let me if nobody has any other questions, I don't want to keep you guys up here all night either. Let me know. Again, you guys will get the replay if you guys want to review this again. Okay. All right. No other questions? No. Just want to do a quick review of my notes, see if anything major I left out. Let's see. Yeah, like I said, I think that's pretty much the gist of it. Again, I'll try to get the Curtis Broom stuff out to you guys, one form or fashion. Maybe, and if it's being transcribed for me, maybe I'll try to clean that up and maybe I'll send that out to you guys. All right. So that's it then. You guys all have a great night. And again, you can find me through my blog or through my fan page, and let me know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to help. So, let's have a good night, and I'll speak to you guys on the next one.